What's good, bitches? It's your boy Jerm. I'm back with another track breakdown video. Today we got my guy Vinnie-Dangerous coming off of the new album, God Made It Monster, produced by yours truly. We got the intro. It's called ENDtro, ENDtro, ENDtro. And it's experimental. It's dark. The shit knocks. And I'm about to show you how I made it. So let's get into it.
Before you call them heroes, may you let them crucify your leaders. That's why I get on this beat like water, them call me Jesus. The way they hear me flowing, they gon' pay this shit to Jesus. But you won't catch me on Twitter sucking on Trump for a feature. A few weeks ago, they told me to keep my distance. I don't like yo anyway. Call, get it stepping. When I started spitting, knew one day this shit will be a weapon. With my flow so infectious, anybody can get it. Who am I? I'm the pain of my people, manifested to set fire to the land until it's my time for judgment. And I ain't need the end of a book to get that revelation. We are in the end times, this is only the beginning.
So just a little backstory on how the record came about. I initially made the beat in fall 2019, so like September, October. And I just had the track sitting, like I just kind of like made it and kind of went on to the next joint. I didn't sit on it or anything like that. It was dope, but it just like, that's usually my process. I'll just be making stuff, and until it's time to do a project or send something, or when somebody expresses interest in something, I'm on to the next. I'm not thinking about any one specific joint, right? So me and Vinny had met at the end of 2019 to discuss a project idea and a concept, and we both were on the same page just about where he was at with his music and where he wanted to go. And I've always would hear the stuff he would do, and I was like, man, he just needs the right sound and the right production to really match the energy he's bringing on the track, right? He would be on top of the joints a lot, he'd just be so aggressive, and I was like, man, you need something that's just aggressive too. You need some sounds, right? And this was the first joint that I gave him for that idea, and it was it was something it was open, a lot of open space, but it was still really dark, and it had this tone to it, and I just felt like it would be perfect. And I kind of I took a lot of inspiration from the Yeezus album, because what Kanye was doing on there was just incredible to me, still is ahead of its time, And I basically took pieces from that album and really reverse engineered it, and took pieces that I know people would respond to a certain way, because that album polarized people and they just didn't understand it. I got it right away, and I was like, okay, let's try this. Let me take this piece from that song, this one, and these ideas and these energies, and put them all together and make something new for today. And that's what God Made It Monster is, and especially tracks like ENDtro. So the first sound I started out with is the bass line. And it's it's distorted, and it has kind of an analog feel to it, not all the way digital, but it's kind of like a bouncing 808 type of joint. This is it right here. That bounce, right? So yeah, so that was a large part of the track right there, the foundation, and I didn't want to do too much to get in the way of that. I wanted to keep that vibe. So I took that and I pulled it up into the project, and when I was actually putting together the song, I felt like it could be opened up a little more, because it was a lot of low end, right? A lot of bottom, a lot of sub in it. But I also wanted to hear that distortion that's in it too. So what I did was I actually doubled it, and used the EQ to enhance the higher frequencies in that bass line. So and I stacked that on top of the original, so you can hear more of the full spectrum of the sound. So this is what they sound like. This is what the one that's EQ, the higher part, sounds like. Like that. And then I stacked that on top of the original, which is the original, right? And also I filtered out some of the higher frequency too, so the higher the other part can sit on top of it more cleanly. So this is the original. It's filtered a little bit. It's a lot more bassy, a lot more subby, right? And then play them together, and it sounds like this. Like I said, I just did that to get it to pop out of the speakers more. Essentially, like I wanted to just really just be in your face, you know, and nothing that's kind of like in the background, right? So, yeah. So that's the main idea for the track, the foundation of it. Once I had that down, I just started adding sound effects around that to give it more character and stuff. So, I think the next sound I added was this distorted. Yeah, these distorted like drum hits. Like a lot of this stuff, I don't even know what it's called exactly. It just, if I like the way something sounds, I don't care what it is. You know, I'm using it. You know, I don't have any rules to how I create. If it sounds good, I'm rolling with it. So, whatever this is right here. I don't know what that is. It's dope. So I just put that on top of the bass line that I had. And it sounded like this. It just filled in those pockets in between, you know, those spaces where the bass is empty, and it just, you know, kind of gave it a little more, like, more of a different type of groove and like a different ride, right? So, had the bass line, then I had that distorted sound, and then, like I said, I just kept going crazy with the sounds, the sound effects, and I had this siren sound, where it's like I think it's like somebody that's like yelling, but it almost sounds like a siren. This is it right here. Yeah. And it's kind of like panning between the speakers. It's going around. You can hear it like in surround sound or whatever. And see, I just stacked that. Like I said, I just added that on top of what was already there. And this is what it sounded like. Yeah, so I believe those were the only 3 sounds in the initial track that I gave Vinny. I believe it was just those 3. Everything else you hear in the track was stuff that I did in post-production after he recorded his vocals to it, after he put down his verses and stuff. And that's something like I mentioned in, you know, a previous video, that I really go crazy in post-production. Like after whoever it is, after they get on the track and do their thing, I'll go back and produce more around their vocals. Sometimes I'll add stuff, sometimes I'll take away stuff. And then at the same time, I'm mixing, and I'm doing like my drops and transitions, and, you know, bringing in different parts. And sometimes I might add instruments. So it's really, like I said, I don't create with rules. I don't create with any type of template in mind, other than like staying in the present moment and making sure what I'm doing is moving me a certain way, you know? It's not about having any kind of criteria like, oh man, a song is not gonna be complete unless it has a bass line, a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, you know, a melody, and a vocalist, right? That's not how I think when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just go, and whatever sounds good is what I go with, or whatever I enjoy, you know, and that's not based on anything that's going on right now. I don't care when I'm creating, you know. And that's really a point that I try to make. And I guess, you know, that's a theme of like this whole project is like, this is about what we're doing. Like, we're not looking around and seeing what's going on. It's like us, like this is our point of view, you know, tunnel vision, and we just going forward, right? So, like I said, I'll be going off on little tangents and shit like that. Nah, but like I said, yeah. So I had those 3 sounds, and that was the original track that I gave Vinny, and then once he laid down his vocals, is when I started going back and adding sounds. So here's his verse.
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition? First they gon' step up, now they running, crying, playing victim. They make me get apocalyptic to be taken serious. So how many rappers I gotta kill to get my recognition? This time I'm coming vicious. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I'm coming with a vengeance.
And he actually recorded over the track without any drops. So all this stuff is what I did after he recorded. You know, stuff like this. I added, like on the first part of his verse, I like basically tripled his this first part of his verse right here.
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition?
So I wanted people to feel that. I wanted people, like, you know, matter of fact, I gotta go back before that, because that's not even the very beginning of the track. So, okay, before that even comes in, okay, the very beginning, excuse me, let me rewind. I'll start at the beginning and go through the track since I'm breaking down the song now. So, after the fact, we added this sample. This is something that Vinny came up with right here. This something that he found, this clip, this right here.
Hold on 1 second, Shorty. Come on, man. Look, people dying, Shorty. You know I don't have no problem with that, but people need to hear this information because they dying.
So it's just a great way to, you know, introduce what is getting ready to happen in terms of the project, right? So, like I said, that was his idea. And then I took that, and I just felt like it was my job to kind of like enhance it and make it, you know, more cinematic. So I just added this riser effect behind it. And it's just like building that tension and giving that suspense. So you hear that behind the sample, right?
Hold on 1 second, Shorty. Come on, man. Look, people dying, Shorty. You know I don't have no problem with that, but people need to hear this information because they dying.
Yeah, so, yeah, just like I said, building tension, and then when it drops, I put this stomp right here.
Hold on.
Just like, boom, here, right? Breaking ground, that's what that is. And that comes right after.
This information because they dying.
And it goes right into the track. So I didn't want to bring the track in immediately, so what I did was I just filtered it after it comes off of the little intro right there.
This information because they dying.
My tag, and then, so I had this filter on the beat, right? That's like the telephone EQ. You just take out all the low end in the track, and then he has his ad-libs over it, like his intro talking.
I'm not your hero. We just happen to be fighting on the same side. I'm just in war with the way things are.
Yeah, so sum it up, right?
John hit my phone and said it's time to get it. And I said we might as well since the world is ending. And if we going out, I'm going out on something different. First I kick this thing off with a single question. Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition? First they gon' step up, now they running, crying, playing victim.
So yeah, back to where I was at before. So it was important for me to like make sure people felt these lines from him. Why the fuck what he say?
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition?
Like, that was important. So I wanted to highlight and emphasize that. So I dropped out all the music and I stacked that and I added some distortion.
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition?
See, just real gritty and aggressive. I put that over top of the original vocal, and then I added another vocal just to really make sure people feel that, like it hits them in the chest when that joint drops.
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition?
And then it goes into the joint.
Why the fuck I ever let these niggas think they competition? First they gon' step up, now they running, crying, playing victim. They make me get apocalyptic to be taken serious. So how many rappers I gotta kill to get my recognition?
So like I said, just having those moments is just so important, you know, to push people in certain, like, you know, just keep it interesting, right? Just a lot of things you can do. You don't want to just have it where it's just you just doing this the whole time and you just, you know. I want to keep people locked in, and so I got to make sure I'm doing that by having these drops and switch ups and things you wouldn't expect, and that's just my favorite thing to do. So I just did that throughout the whole track, really. I would just kind of like emphasize things he was saying by dropping out the music.
Turn your back on me while I was screaming. So when I scream, fuck the word, I really mean it. I ain't got time to bury yo. I've been fucking angels, demons, being black in America, poverty. Overthinking, so excuse me if I'm blind to that weak shit you pinning. Even if you put that shit in real, I still wouldn't feel it. Mood on, fuck it. You niggas question everything and still.
So basically, like every, like I said, 4 to 8 bars, I mentioned it in other videos too. It's kind of like I'll go into another phrase. For example, right here.
Real, even if you put that shit in real, I still wouldn't feel it. Mood on, fuck it.
So
you niggas question everything and still don't know nothing. Answer this, if I say I wanna kill these crackers, then they call it racist. But I wanna kill these niggas, then it's entertainment. If I wanna kill myself, they call that shit the greatest. Say less, hammer that pill bottle and blink check. Your time here will be easier when you realize you can't save this. They already gonna make me the villain, might as well embrace it. Before you call them heroes, man, you let them crucify your leaders. That's why I get on this beat like water, them call me Jesus. The way they hear me flowing, they gon' pay this shit to Jesus. But you won't catch me on Twitter sucking on Trump for a feature. A few weeks ago, they told me to keep my distance.
So yeah, like I said, the key for me is to just really have something different happening every 4 to 8 bars in the song. So whether that's like a new sound coming in or going out, taking away something, or I'm dropping the track out, or it's a new vocal layer or whatever, something. And it might not even be something that you just having a new vocal layer going on or whatever. It might not even be something that you hear consciously, but on some level you're gonna feel it, that something is going on, and it's gonna keep you hooked, you know, locked in, right? So that was really important for this track and really throughout the whole album. And yeah, so that's really about it.
This shit will be a weapon with my flow so infectious. Anybody can get it, who am I? I'm the pain of my people, manifested descent. Rise to the land until it's my time for judgment. And I ain't need the end of a book, begin the revelation. We are in the end times, this is only the beginning.
Pretty much it right there. So like I said, like keeping that, you know, keep having those moments and making sure that I do everything I can do to, you know, keep people in, especially because this is the intro. You know, you got to make that statement. You know, you see how hard he was going on the track. I had to step up and make sure, like, after I made the beat, right? The beat is one thing. So he laid down the vocals, and I heard that. I'm like, all right, bet. Let me go back and make sure I bring it, since he brought it with did his part, right? And I definitely feel like we achieved that. So that's how I produced ENDtro for my guy Vinnie-Dangerous on his new album, God Made a Monster. You can check that out on all streaming platforms, anywhere you can listen to music. Go run that up and stay tuned, because I got some new heat coming, of course. Be patient. But it's coming, trust me, it's coming. And it's different, it hits. Thank you for tuning in. I'm signing out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. Peace out.